All right, next two. We're going to do P-I-M-I, which requires coming back to I. And that one's a good one. It comes in, or you can expand that if you have time. P-I-A-I or P-M-A-M. But for now, the basics, we're trying to stay within this sort of like what would you need to practice just to build up your skill if you didn't have that much time. I would say P-I-M-I is a good one. So and again, start without planting, relax as much as you can. Maybe eventually put A down. Here, there was no planting, but then I would plant P-I-M. So that's P-I-M-I. Next one would be P-M-I-M. So again, we'll start very easy. If you're thinking in quarters, 1 and 2 and, or maybe in 16ths, 1 E and 2 E and where is I? I is on the upbeat. So I'm aware of that. On this one too, I would plant P and M at least, right? And if you want to also place A on the first string. One other expansion that you can do with your other basic arpeggios is right now, I'm really focused on these 4 strings and I'm keeping things over there. And if I keep this angle, the angle of these guys attacking the strings, I still want to get used to thumb being extended away from the fingers. So maybe I might do, I'd probably change harmonies, but keep it simple, but having thumb move while this is consistent, that's also a skill you want to develop in your arpeggios, and maybe even transferring strings, but that's for something another time. All right, so we did P-I-M-I, P-M-I-M, and again, if you have more time, I would bring in I would do all of them. P-I-A-I, that's a great one. P-A-I-A, P-M-A-M, P-A-M-A. All right, and then the last two for this little video on essential right-hand arpeggios. So here I would do one that goes all the way out, P-I-M-A-M-I. That's one coming up, and then the other one where you're basically doing that, but thumb and index are together. here, I think I see a lot of students where this is uncomfortable because their thumbs are sometimes playing a little too far back. You know, if they're playing like this, it's very hard to get a nice, satisfying stroke with I. So you have to try and find that as you play. That itself is something to practice. Satisfying about that one, about this movement. If you feel like you're locking it in, remember, relax as much as you can in the wrists. So if your wrist is relaxed, fingers will move better from here. If you're rigid, it's like you're ripping through the string instead of just sort of caressing it. Right? Maybe on this one, I would do repeat with a thumb, right? Coming back, you know, you can double thumb. Right, you can do something like that. And then, you know, we haven't talked about lots of things, but I do like to work on that. After I do that one, then I do P-I-M-A-M-I. And on this one, I really like doing it in rhythms and all sorts of accents and stuff, which we can cover in a different video. But this one is an interesting one. So right, if you notice, I'm thinking in 3/4, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. But often, sometimes you play it in that context. Sometimes you play it in triplets, right? One lolly, 2 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, or a sextuplet, right? Again, I think you should always start relaxed and without planting or imposing anything rigid. I mean, I try and do that. Sometimes I start and I'm like a rock, but I'm really working hard on trying to be relaxed. So maybe sequentially plant. Around with your wrist, angle. And then the other, what I'll start doing then eventually is, then I will plant. So I will plant everything, P-I-M-A, and then that's in 3/4, and then I'll did with PMA and the other essential arpeggios, I will try and build up. There's a speed, just, if you're always pushing your limit a little bit or playing on the edge, hopefully that edge gets blurred and you can get past it. So this one, I have to really highly recommend. I'm sure this feature is in, or you can find it in other metronomes, but there's an app that I have on my iPad called Metronome Plus, and you can set the metronome to increase every couple measures or whatever you set it, and it'll increase by 2 notches, 3 notches, whatever you want it to increase. And so what's sort of fun is you can start like at 60, you're going, or 1, 1. And your Metronome Plus app will be clicking away, and it's getting faster, and you don't realize it because it's subtle. It's only 4 clicks or whatever. And little by little, you're super comfortable at a speed where you didn't think you'd ever get to. It's like a game, because you get to, it's like every now and then you'll glance to see what the tempo is, and you're like, yeah, I got past whatever it was I thought I couldn't get past or whatever. So I really love using that app, and whenever I do, I try it on all sorts of things, like little past trouble spots and songs. I'll start it off really slow and then let it build up. So I do that. And find out where it is that I get really unstable, and then I'll think to myself, well, I have a reserve, or wow, I really need to work on that because it's under where everything else is. Okay, so there we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 essential right-hand arpeggios. There are more that are important, but if you're just working on the basics, I would focus on those and try some of the things that I've tried over the years to get them comfortable. I think some students don't like playing just exercises like that. I find I love doing that because I don't know, there's something satisfying physically about going to a piece after you've warmed up like that. And if you haven't experienced that, you should really, spend a month working on technique and then try the repertoire that you're used to and see how it feels. And it's a nice way to just focus on what fingers, how they behave and how they feel, and work out your nails and so forth. All right, stay tuned for the next videos. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, comment if you have questions. I don't know if I'll be able to get to all the comments, but if there's something you want me to cover, I'm happy to consider it. All right. See you next time.